What's up, my dudes? My name is Sister Turley, and this is my new custom track called Paradise, and that's exactly what it is, bro. So this is kind of like Spencer Turley's Dreamland track. So I wasn't really going for anything super specific. It's not like I was trying to make a AMA replica, really ruddy, realistic style track. It's not like I was trying to make something that was perfect for a 125 or perfect for a 450. I was just making a fun track, and that's it. So, meanwhile, jumping over a freaking waterfall, but if you can imagine it, your boy can make it happen. So, that's kind of the whole point of this track was if you could just ask Spencer Turley what kind of track would he make if he was God, bingo, cha-ching, this is it right here, dude. Like, if I had unlimited money, unlimited land, and the most amount of dirt bike skill in the world, then this is the track I would make. This is my paradise. So some of you guys may enjoy it, some of you guys may not, but it doesn't really matter because I made it for me. I didn't really make it for any other reason. But in turn, I feel like I ended up making the best track I've ever made before. And I know I say that a lot, but I'm telling you dudes, like, this is the first time I can honestly say that the on track is on par with the off track as far as how cool it is. And I put in work on the tile maps, put them in the dirt. I got 4 different kinds of actual tractions on it. So it's not just like one traction on the dirt and then one traction off of the track. I've actually got one traction for the grass, so it's going to feel different than the dirt if you ride on the grass. Don't know why you would do that, but if you do, then it's going to actually feel realistic like that, and it's going to fling up the grass looking roost. And I've got a water traction where if you ride in the water, it's going to feel slick, and it's going to throw up this sort of throw up colored roost where it's kind of like this greenish yellow, like looking like slick mud kind of roost. And then I've got 2 different tractions on the track. So as far as the dirt goes, so I've got a really dry filling traction, and then I've got a super high traction filling traction, so sort of like a sticky dirt. So the cool balance to that is the dry traction, even though you have less traction, you've also got less friction, so you can actually go faster. And the sections that have the high traction have higher friction, so you can't get as much of a higher speed going on. So that's kind of a hard thing to explain if you haven't really played this game a lot or you've never built a track. I mean, there's a big difference between a track that has low friction and high friction, because those tracks that have high friction, they can have the best traction in the world, but if they've got a lot of friction, then you can't even really get going fast anyways. But that's the cool little dynamic to it, because it's kind of like the dry dirt. You know how in real life, whenever you're riding on dry dirt, you can go just about as fast as you want to go. But if it's good traction, like it's brownie mix dirt, then it's probably going to be a little bit deeper, so there's more friction to it, if that makes any sense at all. I know I'm probably way out here in left field for some of you guys right now, but that's the kind of the cool point to it was I've got both of those different kind of tractions, but the decals actually correlate with it as well. So if something on this track looks a little drier, like let's just say you see a outside rut that looks more dry, or you see a one section that just looks drier overall, well, it's actually going to feel like that too. And the sections that look like they've got darker dirt, looks like it's just better traction dirt, it's actually going to feel like it has better traction as well. And it's not in a really simple sense where I just went in there and made like certain parts of the track one traction and then other parts of the track another traction. Like I've actually went in there and in certain points, like even on some corners, I mean, there will be like one rut that has the sticky dirt traction, and there will be another rut in that same corner that has the drier dirt. So it's like this cool balance of you've got all these different traction fillings, so it gives it just more of a real feel. It doesn't feel like you're just with the same traction over the whole track. So it's pretty cool. But you guys can see right here how all of this sort of looks more like a higher traction filling. So let me show you guys right up here. I'll kind of give you guys a better example. But dude, I'm telling you guys, like, me just talking about this track and showing it on YouTube doesn't do it any justice. You have to ride on the track to know what I'm saying. With all these cool, unique sections, and dude, I just let my mind build it. I wasn't so focused on trying to make this certain thing or trying to make it, perfect for this bike or whatever. I just told my mind, make a fun track. And it turned out to be the best track ever. So let me show you guys this one section. This is probably one of the most unique corners I've ever made, ever hit, ever seen, ever imagined in MX Simulator. So the problem with most ruts in a corner is people will either make them too small or they'll make them too big. You're always trying to find that balance. But like right here, there's actually 3 different ruts that you can go on the inside rut. Let's just say, you dive into the inside. Well, you can seamlessly go from rut to rut to rut, and at the same time, the ruts hold you in them pretty good as well. So if you wanted to just stay on the inside rut, you could do that. But like, for instance, let me come over here to more of a standard rut. So this one right here, you can see how, yeah, it's going to grab you really good, but you can't really, you would never really jump out of it and go to the outside. And that's how 95% of ruts are made in this game, or maybe even more than that. But, or they're too small, so they don't really hold you in them very good. But like this right here just seems like the perfect balance between ruts. And what I was saying before is you guys can see the outside line, how it's a lot more dry. Well, it doesn't just look like that, it feels like it. So the 2 inside ruts are going to have that sticky dirt type filling, and then the outside is going to feel more like dry blue groove type track with the less friction, so you can actually get going faster on it, but it's way more sketchy. So but yeah, dude, so many unique sections. The elevation, it just kind of goes up here and there. It's not crazy like a Glen Helen. It's just chill, mellow, fun track, man. I mean, every one of these sections right here are so unique. They're not just your standard, oh, let me just hit another flat tabletop or another flat double or triple. Like, so many cool sections. Let me just show you guys this one over here. So, like rollers through a corner, you can actually do a transfer and quad up to them if you want to, or you don't have to. So, even though I wasn't making it for any specific skill level, I feel like this is the most consistent track I've ever made as far as how difficult the whole track is. So, you're not going to hit a jump that feels like it just doesn't belong there. Like, what the heck was Spencer doing when he built this jump, or what the heck was he doing when he built this corner? It's like everything just has this really consistent difficulty to it. So all the jumps feel pretty normal, pretty much the same, like as far as the jump faces and everything. And like right here, you actually ride down the waterfall. So this is sick. I didn't even know I could actually do this on a track. Somehow I just made it happen. And like I'm saying, if you ride in the water, it's going to feel really slick. So you got to be careful. It's not just a looks thing. Like, there's a lot going on behind the scenes where it actually affects the track mechanically. So all these little traction coding elements are in play. So if you ride in the water, there's a good chance you're just going to slip down like you're on a banana. So, but there's a ton of these cool transfer jumps. Like right here, you can hook this all the way over and do a triple to right here where you're kind of jumping through the corner a little bit, but I made the timing gates where they wouldn't just totally screw you in those sections. So, and I actually didn't put any hay bales there either, or tough blocks, or whatever you want to call them. I didn't put those in those sections for that particular reason, so that you could still hit those transfer type jumps. Whereas like an AMA style track, they're really strict with it where you can't even hit a 5-foot double through a corner, you know what I mean? Because they're going to be like, oh no, you're cutting the track. But this is just a for fun track. So all those cool little sections, you can still hit them and run your lap time. It's not like you're going to miss a timing gate. So I just thought I'd make that pretty clear. Like, if you find a transfer jump and you think, oh, I don't know if I can do it because I'm kind of jumping off of the track, Well, go ahead and go for it, bro, because you dudes got it going on this track, man. I mean, I've got everything set up right for it. And even though I say that like it's just this fun, chill, do whatever you want to do on it kind of track, it's still really good for racing. Like, I don't have any inside lines that are totally open where you can just, completely cut the track. For instance, this section right here, I've actually got the dirt built up, so if you were to just double this, you wouldn't be able to cut the track right there, or you're going to be doing some body flips, dude. And that's the way I've set up the whole track, where you can't really cut the track, but if it's a cool jump transfer, then you can still do it without, landing on some tough blocks or missing a timing gate. So this section right here, dude, oh my goodness, it's probably going to be a little gnarly at first for some of you guys out there. Just remember, you don't have to hit the biggest jump, okay? Like, if you're on a 250 or if you're an amateur, just hit the smaller jumps, man. It's not that big of a deal. And I built this track in a sense where everything still works. Like, you can still hit a smaller line, and you're not just going to have to roll the rest of the jumps. You can still just do like a double out of it, or even a triple out of it. So, but like right here, you can actually hook this and do a quad, probably like a 200-foot quad, which is crazy difficulty. But it's not that bad once you hit it. Like, once you learn the exact kind of gear you need to be in and the speed you need to go, it's not that difficult. And then you got this really big, awesome, fun triple jump over here. Really long distance. You got plenty of room to hit it. And I can hit it on a 250. I can hit it on a 125. So it's not like any of the jumps are on this another level of big or difficult. It's just, like, you just got to know the track, if that makes any sense. Like, so some of them might seem a little tricky at first, but just learn it, and once you do, it's not bad, because I can sit here and flow laps on this track all day long. It's easy enough for me to do that, where I can just chill, throw some whips, not really worry about anything. It's like you can do whatever you want to. It's paradise, man. It's big jumps, small jumps, medium jumps, but everything still keeps this consistent basis to it. It feels like it all belongs there. Nothing feels out of place or weird or anything like that. So it's cool. You got inside lines. You can see how the inside's a darker dirt, so it's going to be that more sticky dirt feel, and then the outside's going to be drier. Got all different variations to that. You can jump this a multitude of different ways. You can hit it in 5th gear wide open, or 1st gear putting, and you're going to be able to hit something. And it's crazy because I didn't even build it like in that thought process. I wasn't thinking, oh, let me build this jump smaller so that a 250 can still hit it, or let me build this rhythm where you can still hit a rhythm after it. I just let my brain make the track, and it just did it that way. I don't know how it happened. I'm telling you guys, it's crazy in life how a lot of times if you just let your brain and let your mind do it, don't worry so much about it, just do it. Nothing to it but to do it, dude. If you just do that, then 9 times out of 10, it's going to make it even better than if you tried to be so focused on it. There's something in your brain where it's almost like this, you overly worry about it if you try too hard at it. You've got to find the balance. There's a balance to everything. So that's something I've really had to learn. But your mind is the most powerful thing. It's responsible for everything you perceive in your life. So your memories, your everything. If you didn't have any memories, you couldn't talk, you couldn't walk, you couldn't do anything. So, your mind is responsible for everything, so you got to respect it, but you have full control of it. That's the crazy thing about it. You're in control of your mind, but we somehow got from caves to skyscrapers, so you got to not be scared to open the doors. You got to be a little crazy, be a little wild, make something a little out there. Even if you don't really think people will like it, go for it. Dude, that's how you innovate. Like, that's how you make better things. And, dude, just look at that water. Let's just stare at that water for a second, though. Dog, I am digging that. But, yeah, this is Spencer Turley's Paradise, so I'm going to leave a link in the description so you guys can go download it. And, I'm going to be having it on my server for probably about 2 weeks. I'm going to start making that sort of a trend where as soon as I release a new track, I'm going to put it on my server for a little while so we can all go race on it. And I think this will be a really fun one because it's for all skill levels. It's for all different types of sections, all different types of jumps, all different types of whoops and rollers and ruts and no ruts and flat corners. And it's like everything is on this track. I'm telling you guys, it's crazy. I don't know how I made it this good. I really don't. And it may not be everybody's cup of tea. It really may not. Like I'm saying, it's just what I made without having any restrictions. This is what Spencer Turley's brain made. So this is me to the teeth, dude. Like, this is me. This is my perfect motocross track. So if you like it, cool. If you don't, then that's just a difference of opinion. It's not anything, negative. And it's what I'm trying to get at here is it's not like I was trying to go in there and make a specific rough track or a specific realistic track. I wasn't trying to do anything like that. So if you guys want to review this track, I mean, go at it. Rip me a new one, dude. I'm all in for that. I mean, I love when people give me feedback, negative, positive, because I can take it. Like, I can take a little bit of backlash, or if you like this section or like that section. I love to learn, but and it's okay if you don't like it. I completely understand, and it's that's the thing about this track. I wasn't doing it for any specific reason. I was just making a fun track to me. So that's what I did. Yeah, dude. Hope you guys enjoy it. That's the whole reason I do it, man. It's I try to make something that you could only imagine. Like, is that even possible? You kind of think of it in your mind. Could you really jump over a waterfall in a track? Could you really ride down a waterfall? Is that even possible? Yeah, it is. Spencer Turley's telling you, yeah, it's possible. I'm telling you. If anybody can make it happen, I can make it happen. Don't be scared. The world is out there trying to, strain you down and tell you can't do it and tell you that's too crazy and, oh, no, that'll never work. I'm telling you right now, go out there and do it. So they'll be weeping and crying because you made something amazing. So anyways, thanks for watching the videos. Later, dudes.